Hey guys, I'm Ithica Hawk, and I'm joined by Zurzach, and this is the Hunger Games match 2. This is Ramrod Shenanigans versus Goondra Unloaded. We are here, we are going, and this match is recorded. Zoo, what have we got here on grid?
Well, interesting thing, we have an Itana actually showing up here on the one side, along with the Drake Navy, Flycatchers, and Vargas. So they're likely going for a bit of a kiting setup as the game's already underway. And opposite side, we have two Sleps, Hyena, Scalpel for their Logi. So that's Scalpels versus the Itana on that side. But these Slepers seem to be going for an AC rush, I think.
Yeah, so the blue team here, the Goon team, all just burning straight in towards Ramrod, who are running away, not ramming in as their name might suggest. The Atana, of course, is allowed in this particular tournament along with the rest of the regular logistic ships here because they wanted to balance out the shield logistics available. Now, it looks like there's some ships trying to get caught here. What's going on?
Oh, the looks like the Hyena, which is an important part to locking stuff down for that steps to get on, is definitely getting some flack onto it. Scalpel's doing a good job of keeping it up, but what you can actually see now is one of the Scalpels is lagging behind. So if damage switches to anything in the front of there, it's going to be quite hard for those reps to land up. But the Hyena does go down, so the steps are going to have a bit hard time catching things over that. But oh, a Drake just disappears.
Yeah, it looked like he boundaried there. He flew out one step too close to the sun and just blew up because he went from all to nothing in one go. So that's a big mistake right there. Yeah, so the Drake Navy issue of Radicos, their boundary violation, the first of the Anger Games, I do believe, as he's gone just a little bit too far. That's a good trade, Hyena for Drake Navy right there.
Definitely so. Like Itana was also coming close, getting to 117 at a time, the boundary being 125 kilometers. But we see the one partner here of the Scalpel getting hammered on. He's got a bunch of drones on him from the Gillas, which are going to be fantastic to apply to him right now as he's really struggling to keep up. While the Itana on the other side is keeping pressure. He's probably relying on his XOSB charges right now. So we're going to see what happens when he gets out of charges quite soon.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things about having a little buddy in another logistics frigate is good for, is keeping your buddy alive. When one of you gets shot, the other one can rep you, whereas the Itana has to rep himself. And he's going into hull, so as armor, sorry, so as you say, he's run out of charges in the XLASB. He is going to die. The Scalpel goes down first, though, but it's going to be a trade. One Scalpel for an Itana. Now, on TQ, that's a hell of a trade, but in a tournament, I mean, this is still anyone's game at this point.
I almost want to say it might look good for the steps at this stage. Look, they do still have this Scalpel. He's going to have a hard time keeping himself alive. There's a chance they might ignore him, considering, like, someone as they're actually going for the Gila. But if these steps have XISBs on them, they do have a bonus to the local shield amount bonus, boost bonus. So they could be quite tanky targets. But obviously, there's still a battleship on their side they also have to contend with.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, like you say, the Scalpel's got some reps there, and he can make it a little bit harder, a little bit slower to kill each of the ships there on that Goon team. You can see the Gila just slowly dropping down. Meanwhile, there is no logistics left whatsoever on Ramrod, and a bit of an interesting decision here from Goons. They're splitting damage. I'm seeing both the Gila of Tank Bless go down, and the Skybreaker of Charlie the Chair taking damage as well, but the Gila is going to drop first. And I think, I mean, having lost that Drake Navy, they're really short on damage, especially damage that can apply to smaller ships. So they're going to trade a Gila here for maybe another Gila. It's still fairly even, but it's definitely tipping further towards Goondra right now.
Same. It looks like the the Gila of Goondra was trying to outrun the Barghast. Not really going to work against the Barghast if it's a ridiculous bonus to missile range. But the Barghast is using rapid heavies, and I think the reason we're seeing a Gila living right now is that the heavies, rapid heavies, have gone on to reload. So that's a huge DPS drop. They are locking down the Gila of Scrams, but as soon as that reload comes off, we're probably going to see the Gila disappearing just now.
Yeah, I feel like if they kept that Drake Navy alive, they would have been able to kill this Gila, and they would have probably been able to pressure the Scalpels a lot quicker, and it might have gone the other way. So Radicos, they're flying out of the arena, maybe cost the team the victory. It was otherwise quite well balanced. They were kiting away from the Goon team. They were putting a lot of pressure on the Scalpel, but losing a big chunk of their damage fairly early on to pilot error just. Yeah, it looks like it might be what's costing the match. And there's this Gila here of Tyler Schwartz Smith living to win as Jory Castle in the Scalpel keeps him alive almost to the end of the match. I think he is going to go down. He goes down, but at this point it's too little too late for Ramrod here as Rain Chocolate and the Flycatcher also goes down.
Oh yeah, it's not looking good right now for Ramrod, I'd say. I'm quite surprised that after effectively wiping out the one Scalpel, they didn't decide to just quickly assign the Gila drones to take out the other one. Because while they did lose that Drake DPS at the beginning, and they could have pushed it through there when the Barghast went on reload. If they also just cleared out that Scalpel, they might have cleared out that Gila as well. But we're going to see the Barghast testing the Slip tank. If he can actually take out a Slip by himself right now, he might be in a really good position.
Yeah, I mean, Bargas are known to be sort of a solo pwn machine. So if Avery Lewis can keep himself inside the arena, kill off this Sleipnir,
Oh,
who's
entered E.
repping
He's
quite
entered E right
well.
now, and
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
dead.
So he's just bounced across the arena. So that's a pretty good maneuver for him right there. He's going to keep himself alive. I don't know. I feel like if Avery can do this, he's an absolute hero. But I really don't think he can. He's got too much damage. He isn't repping, so clearly he's just a passive tank. They were relying on that Itana to keep their ships alive rather than local reps. So I mean, it's almost impossible to outrun two Sleipnirs and Aguila in a Barghest. You are slower than them, and you just can't apply enough damage to kill them.
Yeah. If these Sleipnirs actually thought they could get a reload off and they have the charges in their cargo, what's actually nice here is well, when a Barghest goes on to reload, I would actually reload my XLSB. XLSB takes about a minute to reload, whereas the Barghest will have 40 seconds reload. So that's about 20 seconds downtime, which your scalpel and your buffer can hopefully keep you alive on. But that means every time that the Barghest is going to try and burst you, you're just going to have your XLB ready to counter that burst to full the reps as well.
Yeah, I think at this point, Avery Lewis is just staying alive as long as possible to tell Radikos, look, this is how you do it. This is how you stay inside the arena. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough. He's repping a little bit now, actually. A little bit of reps just came in on Avery Lewis. I suspect that it's way too little too late. He's probably repping on cap right now based on those values. He might be able to just blap this Gila of Quan. But again, I just don't see any way that a single Barghest beats what's left on grid. I mean, if he does, absolute hero, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I have a feeling his mid rack is really toasty right now because he's been doing a lot of the work for his team, running down. He has a scram fit, so he's probably overheated that, probably overheated his prop mod, overheating hardeners, his booster. So he might have even burned something out at this stage, but he's definitely tried to pull his weight, done a good job, also showing how to properly maneuver through the arena. But unfortunately, the odds are just not in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's going to kill this Gila, and he so far is not caught by anything else. So if he kills the Gila, I don't know what
another
the
MGU play there soon.
yeah, I don't know what the points are like for a Barghest versus two Sleipnirs. I'd imagine he needs to kill at least one Sleipnir, and then maybe a Sleipnir plus a Scalpel. He still wins on points, but
So a
I don't know.
is 33 points, and a single slip is 26 right now.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, right now he's kind of eating shit, basically, is the technical term, and he is going down quite fast. So he's taking damage from somewhere. The Gila is not dying anymore. The Gila has managed to get away from the Barghest, who is surrounded by Acolyte 2s, just plinking away at him constantly. Unless he's a smart bomb, there's absolutely nothing he can do about that. At this point, he's really just kind of delaying the inevitable.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, how are you enjoying so far the tournament? Like, what are you expecting to see the meta develop as?
Well, it's going to be interesting in the meta. I mean, because obviously teams have been hiding a lot of things of us, and not just from us, from the general public with the opens. The Curse is definitely one of the better ships in the smaller format where you can just exert so much control over the map. With less targets presented to you, that just means your E-Ward can be that much more focused. It's also a drone boat, and this tournament is allowing T2 drones. So the Curse is definitely going to be a highlight, but that side as well, it's something we're likely not going to see a lot because it's just so good. It's going to be banned a lot as well.
Yeah, so speaking of bans, Ramrod actually banned the Curse, the Aeneas, and the Zarm, so clearly forcing a shield comp. They wanted to face shield, and they didn't want those guidance disruptors to try and ruin their day. Meanwhile, Goondra banning the Blackbird, Vassalic, and Balgorn, so they didn't want to see Newts and Ewar, basically. So interesting sets of bans here. The Gila, by the way, burned to 118 kilometers one side of the arena, as far away from the Barghest as he could possibly get. He has turned around a little bit and coming back in. The Barghest, meanwhile, just sort of flying around the arena, just staying alive.
He's actually been making excellent use of these MJU beacons just to be annoying. We have 1 minute remaining on the match right now, but he's literally just swagging on them with his piloting right now. Pretty much playing Barghest as if he was on TQ right now, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, someone needs to DM Avery and be like, hey, man, we're a bit behind schedule. We need to catch up. Can you just, run out of the arena or something? Because he's not winning this match, not in under a minute.
Well, let's see if he can go for an MJ boundary record. I'm not sure if he can really do it in a Barghest, but maybe he'll go out of style. Let's hope for that. I think the record was sitting at for a live match for boundaries at about 100 and... How far, actually?
I think it's 126, 127, something like that is the record. It's set by Casper 24, I believe, in the Alliance Open, who managed to get it just a perfect tick. That's potentially a record that will stand to the end of time. But speaking about the end of time, Avery Lewis is now out of time as 5 seconds remain in this match. He has survived. He is still alive. Unfortunately, Ramrod don't take the win as they drop there to Goondra Unloaded, who progress further into the tournament. And yep, we will hand back to the non-existent studio.